Dear friends, welcome to Indian Meditation Center. We have come here to Osho's Vijnana Bhairava Meditation Technique 92. This meditation says, put mind stuff. What is mind stuff? Mind means thinking. Mind means thinking. Mind stuff means only the mind without any thought. Mind stuff means, see, the sky is there, clouds are there. The clouds are the thoughts, and the mind is the sky without any cloud. So the mind stuff is the mind without any cloud, any thoughts. Put mind stuff, put the mind without any thoughts, in such inexpressible, without any expression. If there is no thought, there is no expression. If there is thought, there is expression. If no thoughts are there in the mind, you cannot express. So, inexpressible fineness, very good, without any thought. Above, below, and in your heart. So, what this sutra, what this meditation says is, put your mind stuff. Mind stuff means the entire mind without any thoughts. Put it in your heart and feel. So, dear friends, this is a great meditation said by Siva to Parvati. Put mind stuff in such inexpressible fineness above, below, and in your heart. See, first you have to understand, if knowledge is important, then thinking plays an important role. If knowledge is important, thinking plays an important role. If feeling is important for you, then what is important? It is the heart is important. So if thinking is necessary, it is mind. If feeling is important, it is your heart. So the mind always goes for thinking, the heart goes always for feeling. So nowadays what we have become? We are becoming as a thinking organisms, thinking creatures. We are not going in for feeling creatures. So nowadays in the present world, always we think and think and think. Thinking, what it gives? It gives logic. Thinking, what it gives? It gives definition. Thinking, what it gives? It gives reason. Logic, definition, and reasons. What happens? It creates a boundary. It creates a limit. But feeling, there is no limit. The feeling which comes through the heart and thinking which comes through the head. Even love, we are thinking about it. Even if we want to feel, we think about feeling. So feeling comes without any expression, without any thought, without any logic, without any reason. See, dear friends, a rose flower is there. You can think about a rose flower. You can give a definition about a rose flower. You can say it is red, it is white, it has 7 petals, it is fresh. So there is a distance between you and the rose flower. You think about the rose flower by having the rose flower in your hand. But you can feel about the rose flower by having the rose flower in your hand. When you feel through your heart, you get a feeling and you come closer to the rose flower. The rose flower comes closer to you and you become closer to the rose flower. Then what happened? Even the closeness seems to be a distance. Then both start melting on each other. Two lovers are there. When they are thinking about love, when they are together, each one thinking about some other thing, what happened? A great distance is there. When they feel from the heart, there is no boundary, they come closer. Even closeness becomes so distant that they start melting each other. So thoughts creates a boundary, but feeling that is coming from the heart doesn't create a boundary. It melts. See, in a classroom like this, many of you are there. Many of you are there. If you just listen from your head, then I am a teacher, whatever I am teaching, it just goes into your head. That's all. A knowledge is gathered, information is gathered. But if you look at me with your heart, then the listener and the listened person both becomes together. Here in this class, maybe 5 or 10 or 15 of you are there. I am looking from my heart, then how do I look? I look as if each one is a conscious, with a consciousness. Each one, but each one are tied with a common wave, a life between 2 or 3 or 5 or 10 of them, poles connected with the life, poles connected with the way, the ocean of consciousness, and it is the waves which are connecting you. So when I see from the heart, everybody is same. I can see the cosmic floating, I can see the flux of energy floating around. So when you go for thinking, when you use your mind, the mind always goes for reasoning, the mind always asks for a logic, the mind always asks an explanation, the mind always asks a definition. But in the heart, nothing is needed. There is no logic. Certain amount of vagueness is there. Mind always asks for the clarity. It needs a clarification. There is no vagueness, everything perfect. Just like Indian Constitution or the world American Constitution. Everything is clear in caste, in religion, caste laws, religious laws, national laws. Everything is clear, but still why confusion? Why the prisons are full? Why the courts are full of cases? So the thinking creates clarity. In the clarity, there is always confusions tend to arise. So when you see from the heart, it is always the reality. In the reality, it will be vagueness that cannot be defined, cannot be explained. Love cannot be expressed. But thoughts can be expressed. Thoughts can be defined, but in the heart, when you see something, when you feel something, it is inexplicable. You cannot explain. That's what most of the religions, or maybe all the religions, whether it is Hinduism in Bhagavad Gita or Quran, it is Islam, from Islam, Quran book, from Christianity, it is Bible, or Buddhism or Jainism or Sikhism, all the religious scriptures are written in a poetic way. So from the heart, if you write, it becomes a poem, and from the head, if you write, it becomes a prose. So from thinking you write, it becomes a prose, and from heart which it comes, it becomes a poem. So here all the religions are poetic. So anything which comes from the heart, it is poem, and anything which comes from your thought is it's a prose. So which comes from the heart, which cannot be expressed. That's what most of the mystics, they won't be able to express their feelings. Feelings cannot be expressed. Thoughts can be expressed. It has a logic. Science has a logic. Reasoning you can explain, but the feelings cannot be explained. That's what mystics will be asked by logicians, by persons of scientific temper. They'll be asking, please explain. And the mystic says, I cannot explain, because feelings can never be explained. You can feel God, you cannot explain God. You can feel God, feel nature, feel consciousness, but you can never explain with sums and problems or definitions or expressions. So whatever comes from the heart, it is the feeling. So all the religion says, what all religions, it is all poetic, all written in poetic. So to come to the point of the heart and see the world, when you look at the world from the head, When you look at the world from your mind, everything looks material, material, material. Even the tree looks material, a dog looks material, wife looks material, your father looks material. But if you look from the heart, everything is godly, everything is consciousness, everything is divine, a cosmos, energy keeps moving, everything is floating, nothing is fixed. For mind, everything is fixed. For mind, everything is fixed. The fixed are dead, but life is always moving. So the movable things cannot be expressed and cannot be fixed. It always moves. A person today is one and tomorrow is other. So it keeps changing, it keeps changing. That change can be felt by the heart. So to come to the point of the heart, what you have to do in the Shiva Sutra, in this meditation technique, Lord Shiva says, what does he say? Put the mind stuff. Mind stuff means what? No thought should be there in the mind. If in the sky a lot of clouds are there, then the clouds are the thoughts and the background sky is the mind stuff. So when the mind stuff means without any thoughts, if it comes, you have to bring it down to your heart. Without any thought. It doesn't mean that you have to have good thoughts or bad thoughts. No thoughts at all. It doesn't mean that illegal or bad thoughts. Any thought, even if you think about God, it is bad. It is a bad thought. Even if you think about sex, it is a bad thought. So no thought should be there. Without any thought, that is the mind stuff. When you bring to the center of the heart, when you bring to the heart, if you know the passage, when you know the passage and come to the heart, without any thought means what? Without any ego. All the religion says, forget the thought, only then you can reach the kingdom of God. You can reach salvation. You can become like a God like. So all the religions says that you have to leave the self, you have to leave the ego. The ego should disappear. So something which is not true only can disappear, something which true cannot be disappeared. All the religion, Christianity, Islam or Hinduism tells, leave your ego, only then you can feel the moksha, you can feel the God. This is one thing common in all religion. So how can you remove something, disappear something which is not there? So already it is not there. The creation, the mind, and it is all those thoughts, the influences of thoughts, the sorrow, suffering, everything is not true at all. It is your own creation. You are fighting with the shadow. So you have to be like a childlike quality. A child up to the age of 3, it lives with the consciousness. No mind has come. Suddenly the thoughts crystallizes. Crystallizes means what? It takes some shape and it is gone into the mind. It gets rooted by the school education, by reading books, by watching movies. With that, the thoughts are rooted inside. So to come to the heart point, to come to the passage, to find out the way to come to the passage, this sutra says, remove or cut the roots of the thoughts, and you have to feel like childlike quality. Only if you have the childlike quality, without any thought, up to the age of 3, how you were, only then you can come to the heart. That's what in Christianity Jesus Christ says. Only people like childlike quality, they can come to the kingdom of God. So what is this childlike quality? Without any thought, you have to come to the heart. Only then I will let you know the kingdom of God, Jesus Christ says in Bible. So come back to the childlike quality, and once you come to the heart, what happens? Once you come to the heart, when you look at the world through the heart, then what happens? The world is completely different. All your body and perceptions, everything is cleansed. Everything, all impurities are removed. The world looks different. You find the entire cosmos going around you in front of your own eyes. You feel the energy. You feel everything. You belong to the cosmos and cosmos belongs to you. This is called the Samadhi. So in Samadhi, in Tantra or Patanjali, it says Shushupati. It means what? Samadhi state. This state is the most important state. See, it should be fully awake. See, when thoughts are not there, when the thoughts are not there, thoughts are always there, isn't it, in your mind? Thoughts are always there. But when you sleep, for 1 hour or 2 hours, what happens? The thoughts won't be there. That time you sleep, but you are unconscious, you are not awake. You are not awake, you are unconscious. Even in thoughts you dream. So even in your sleep you dream. And the dreams are the thoughts. Even while you are sleeping, you are dreaming. The thoughts are there. Only for 1 hour or 2 hours, there is no thoughts. That too you are unconscious. So here the sutra says, you have to be conscious. It is not in sleep. Both in waking stage and in sleeping stage. Both in waking stage and in sleeping stage, there shouldn't be any thoughts in your head. So when there is no thoughts in waking stage and in sleeping stage, that stage is the pure childlike quality stage. There that mind stuff that is without any thoughts going, that has to be taken to your heart. See, mind is fragmented, mind is divided. The hand is divided. If you cut the hand, I can live. If I cut my leg, I can live. If you cut my head also, I can live, as long as the heart keeps on beating. So the heart is one thing, it is all compressed together. The whole being is in the heart. Once the heart stops, everything stops. Everything, I die, or my fear, everything is gone. But if you cut my hand, the hand is a fragment, this eyes is a fragment, this face is a fragment, this head is a fragment, but here the heart is a total being. So when I look from the heart, see, I touch you. If I touch you, what do I feel? I can say your hand is soft or your hand is rough. I can see you, I can say you look wonderful, you look nice, beautiful. But when I look from my heart, the total, I can completely dissolve in you. You become my and I become you. That's what two lovers, when they love each other, what happens? When they love each other, when they come to the heart, they fall from their head to the heart. That's what they call falling in love. Falling in love. That's what people are very scared about, even falling in love. When you look from the heart, it is love. When you look from the mind, it is not a love, it's just a thought. That's what, when you fall from the mind to the heart and look and move with the people, it is like you are falling in love. That's what most of them are scared even to love. Nobody is loving because they lose their identity. Once they fall, they are dead. Once they fall, they lose their ego. Their ego is a symbol and security for them, identification for them. So they are not ready to lose their ego and come to their heart. Once you lose the ego, what happens? You become a dead person. You feel like you are a dead. You have lost the identity. When you want to play with a child, you have to leave the ego and play with the 1-year child as if you are a 1-year child. When you want to play with your dog, you have to lose your ego and play with the dog. So once you come in love, you have to leave the ego. So people are scared about leaving the ego. That's what they say. Why? What happened to you? You are mad to fall in love. That's what some others advise, because you are losing your identity. And even you feel you are possessed by somebody. You are possessed by something. God possesses you, nature possesses you, cosmos possesses you. Only when you leave your ego and leave your mind and leave your thought and come to the heart, something will possess you. Unless and otherwise, you are just chasing and fighting with the shadows. You are living a life of in vain. You are fighting with the shadows of suffering, torture, anger, frustration, till the time when you come to the heart. When you come to the heart, then what happens? You are one with the cosmos. You open everything godly, everything everything of consciousness. The whole energy is just vibrating. So, dear friends, this particular meditation teaches you, have no thoughts. Thoughts are the definitions, explanations, logic, clarity. But heart, connection through the heart is the reality. It is the love. Anything which is expressed through the heart, there is no conditions, there is no definition. It is all unconditions. You just fall from your ego, fall from your identification. This particular state of consciousness, falling from the head to the heart, that is the most important. Once you know the passage, sometimes you feel it, right? Just like you jump for 3 feet. Then what happens? You are above, you are going away from the gravitation pull. That time you feel so happy, and that time you get that feeling. But once again you land on the ground. That's what, some poets, they write wonderful poems. The poems are written when they are in a state of high ecstasy, when they leave away the ego, when there no thoughts are there, then they are able to create poems. But once again they go back to their normal life. There was one man called Coleridge. He has written 40,000 poems, incomplete poems. Only 9 poems he has written, and all the 9 poems are the world best poems. And he told, they asked him, why haven't you written the 40,000 poems, the remaining poems? And he has told that I am not able to get it. Nothing is coming from my heart. From the mind you can get lot of things, can be supplied, many things. He might have written 2 or 3 lines, but for 4th and 5th and 6th, he can use the lower state of mind. With the lower state of mind, already what he has written, the best lines might have lose its importance. So he was waiting. Let time comes. When I feel from my heart, I will be writing. So the great creation, sometimes he comes to the particular cosmos or the heart stage, and he starts writing. A mystic always looks the world through his heart, but ordinary people always look the world from his head, always looks the world from his mind. So far we are looking the world from the mind. At least from now on, let us look the world from our heart. All definitions, explanations, everything is there. How to make a rocket, the mind creates. How to destroy a particular country through atomic bomb, that also the mind creates. Mind creates a lot of laws and constitution, everything. One of the mind always goes in for breaking the laws. So the clarity is given from the mind, explanations are given from the mind, and confusions also tend to come from the mind. But from the heart, no explanation. Reality is experienced, but the reality is always vague. It cannot be explained. It can be only felt. That feeling cannot be explained. So this sutra, technique 92, says, once you are able to come from the mind to the heart, then what happens? Then once again, if you go from the heart to the mind, you can use the mind as an instrument for working purposes. What is the working purposes? If you are a software engineer, if you are a doctor, if you are an engineer, if you are a lawyer, you can use the mind as an instrument. But you should also know to come to the heart. The passage is heart. You can come to the heart. When you come from the heart is the total being. Hand is a fragmentation, mind is a fragmentation. All the parts of everything, all the sense organs also, it is fragmented, but the heart is the only thing, it is not fragmented. It is a whole. You can feel, you can cry, you can shout, you can feel the ecstasy, you can feel the bliss. This state of coming to the heart is called the state of blissfulness, the state of Samadhi, the state of right-mindedness, which is said by Buddha. So, hope you are able to understand. So, 1 minute, let us come from there. Let us not think about anything. Totally the thoughts are ceasing. Cessation of thoughts. Thoughts have stopped completely. Slowly you are coming to your heart. The entire heart you are full. Now you are looking at the world from your heart. No thoughts are there. So energetic, all cosmetic rays. You are sitting there, he is sitting there, you are connected with him and he is connected with her. All different poles are there. There is a common life wave circulating between you. It seems like so cosmic energy going on around you, lot of flux, lot of radiations. So, when you look from the heart, the world is different. So, try to develop. Often come to the heart and look at the world. Let us be feeling beings. Let us be feeling creatures. Let us be feeling organisms. Let us not be thinking organisms. Most of the mystery in the world is because of thinking.